Hi, I'm Andi. Welcome back. I'm really happy that you're here. Today I'm bringing you all of the products that I pulled to use for fall. In the past, I have done top 10 favorite fall palettes, top 12 favorite fall palettes. I wanted to do something a little different. Recently, I was watching Alex over at Alejandra Lisette, that is the name of her channel, and she pulled all of the palettes that she's going to use for fall. I thought that was a really great idea and it was something different. So I wanted to do that too, but I am going a little bit further and I am kind of using this as a shop my stash for fall. I haven't done a shop my stash in a really long time. You're not going to see me pulling the products because I've already pulled them. My desk is covered. My desk is covered. But I had so much fun pulling these products. So I put away everything that was in my containers over here by where I sit, things that I normally reach for. The only things that I kept in my little drawers are things that are in panning projects. So we're going to do some swatches along the way. Sit back and relax. It's kind of going to be a long one, but I will have timestamps down in the description box below if you want to jump to a certain section, if you want to just jump straight to eyeshadow palettes, if you want to just jump straight to lipsticks, okay, I'll make it easy for you. We're going to get started with bronzers. I do have a bronzer that I kept in here, and that is the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder by Essence. And this bronzer I am working on. I've been working on it all year. It is in my Out the Door in 24, and I'm trying to finish it this year. Trying to finish it. So I only pulled a couple of bronzers. But the first one is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in Summer Fridays. This I've actually been using. This is what it looks like. It is a beautiful warm bronzer. I love the e.l.f. Putty Bronzers so much. And because I hate the packaging, I did dig them all out, put them in these little tins, and melt them down. I do have a video of me doing that. I will link it up in the cards. So there's that. That is the only cream bronzer that I'm currently working on. And I'm going to stay working on it because, as you saw, there's this big old pan in there. And I'm going to try to finish it by the end of the year, unofficially. It's not in any projects, but unofficially. And then I am bringing in the Lemon Bar Face Palette. This is Beauty Bakery. I got this from my girl Gigi over at Gigi Loves Beauty 2, and I have not used it yet. And these are beautiful. I don't know if this is supposed to be a blush, but for me it's a bronzer. But these are beautiful warm toned bronzers, so I'm going to bring those in, and then it has a highlighter as well. I have not used it. Like I said, I have not used it, and I'm looking forward to it because I really love those shades. Now we're moving to blushes. We're going to start with the cream blushes. And I don't know about you guys, but for fall, I don't just do warm, neutral looks all the time. I do mostly warm, neutral looks. But I also love the dark berries, the dark wines, the jewel tones, things like that for fall. So I am also bringing in some cool blushes that I really like to wear. And I am bringing in the e.l.f. Monochromatic Multi-Stick. This is in the shade Sparkling Berry. I did just finish one of these in a different shade, Sparkling Rose, I think. Luminous Berry. This is called Luminous Berry, not Sparkling Berry. And it's such a pretty, cool toned blush, and it would look really nice with some jewel tones. And then I have the shade Brute Flute. This is a ColourPop Super Shock Cheek. This is my oldest cream blush in my collection. It's pretty. It's still very creamy. Doesn't show any signs of going dry. That is what it looks like. It's beautiful. And I really like this. I'm going to try to get a bunch of you. It has a pan in it. Did I just do that when I swatched it? Oh. Now I have to finish it. Now I have to work on it. I have to try to finish it. Anyway, I thought that would be a beautiful shade for fall. And since it's the oldest cream blush in my collection, I would really like to either finish it or get a ton more use on it. Next, we have a Melt Cream Blush, and it is called Daydreamer. Daydreamer? Yeah. This is what it looks like. It is a very warm, beautiful, warm cream blush. That is what it looks like. Of course, it shears out. And I've used that a few times. I think it was last fall. And it's so beautiful. And it looks so good with these warm neutral looks. I have the TYS Beauty, and this is in the shade... This is in the shade Splash. I recently got this from my friend Charlie at C Nut Butter Beauty. And you just need a tiny bit, a tiny bit. So that's what it looks like. So pretty. And I thought that that would be really great for fall as well. Danessa Myricks, and it is the Vision Flush, and this is in the shade Ballet Slippers. And this is beautiful as well. And also with this one, you just need a tiny bit. That would do both cheeks. That little bit would do both cheeks. And that is what that looks like. Beautiful. And then I have a few more putty blushes. So this is in the shade Maui. I recently got this from my friend Deb B. That is really pretty. It's kind of a warm neutral. It has a little bit like a pinky warm neutral is what that looks like. It is one of the luminous, which I love. And then we have Barbados, which is stunning and perfect for fall. That is also a luminous. You can see the swirls in it. And we have Maldives, which this is stunning also for fall. That is what it looks like. This is a cream. I'm going to swatch this one for you. These are very sheer when you sheer them out. There it is right there. They're beautiful. I love the putty formula. I really do. So that's Maldives. And then we have one more, and this is Belize. Now, I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of this. This was a freebie from Ulta, or from e.l.f. Maybe it was the e.l.f. website. This is what it looks like. It's beautiful, but I'm not really big on orange. My skin tone is very cool, so I don't really do well with orange. That's not very pigment. Oh, I remember that from when I repressed them, or not repressed them, but when I melted them down. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of color there. So we'll see about that. We'll see how much use I actually get out of that. I almost gave this away when I received it because it's the second one that I had received free from Melt. And I gave the first one away because that is not really my shade. But I was like, you know what? I'll keep it. I'll try it out. And so we'll just see. We'll just see. So now my powder blushes, and these are my pressed powder blushes, and I have several here. This is an Ulta Beauty Mineral, and it is in the shade Tiger Lily, I believe. Yes, Tiger Lily. And this I use kind of more as a blush lighter because it does have a little bit of luminosity to it, but it's very light. I bought this after seeing Jen Phelps recommend it, and it's a lot lighter than what I had thought it was going to be, but it is very pretty shade. But it is more of a blush lighter for me. So you can't really see it, and it does have some sheen to it. We have the Milani Baked Blush in Rose d'Oro, and this is what it looks like. And it is really beautiful. I wore this a lot last fall. Ooh, I almost dropped it. Oh, those are very similar swatched. That is what that looks like right there. It's very light. Again, I use the baked blushes as kind of a blush lighter because of the luminosity that they do have. And then we have a cool blush, and this is the shade Just My Pluck from ColourPop. This is what it looks like. I use this a lot for my cool looks, especially my purple looks, and it is very pretty. And it seems to work really well with the cool looks. And then I have the Benefit Pom Pom. This is pomegranate. Beautiful. This is what I'm actually wearing on my cheeks today. It is a gorgeous blush. I love the Benefit blushes. I have this and a light pink, and when they have them in the 21 Days of Beauty, I'm always tempted to get more, but I don't need another blush in my collection. I will buy more blushes, obviously, but I do love them so much. And then this is from Wet and Wild. I received this from Erica Conger because we're the same age. She sent me a couple of these Saved by the Bell things for nostalgia, and they're actually really great products. That is a blush and a highlighter. And then lastly, for blushes, I have this Cara Beauty blush palette, and it pretty much has anything you would need. It has neutral, it has warm neutral, it has cool neutral. It has this shade right here, is so pretty. It is this one right here. And with the berry shades and the burgundies and the wines, it is a beautiful red wine type of shade, and I love that for fall and winter. Now we're moving on to highlighters, and I'm going to show you my cream highlighters that I have in here. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand, and this is in the shade Rose Quartz. So this is a beautiful, cool pink highlighter. And then I have the shade Champagne in the same beauty wand. I love these. I love these. I use these to underpaint. I also use my ColourPop Super Shock Cheek highlighters. This is in Felicity, and it is gorgeous. I am wearing that underneath my foundation today. Beautiful. It has a pinky gold type of finish. It's gorge. Gorge. And this is called Out of Quartz, and it is a little bit darker. Oh, these are so buttery. It is a little bit darker, and they are kind of similar, but this has more of a gold tone to it. I have 3 loose highlighters. They don't get used very much because they're incredibly messy, but I do love them. Actually, these are the only loose highlighters in my entire collection. The Wet n Wild, this is You Glow Girl, and it is a pinky. It has more of a pinky finish to it, a pale pink finish. Very pretty for cool looks. I have my Cab Cosmetics in Beam. This is so messy. I got this from my friend Laura, the Bargain Hunter, and it is stunning. It is so beautiful. This is a lot. And it is that third one down there. And I recently took the sifter out of it and dumped it all back into the packaging because it had worked its way out and it was incredibly messy. And then I brought in this Sydney Grace loose highlighter, and this is called PSL, Pumpkin Spice Latte. And this is going to be more of a blush lighter for me because it is a darker shade. I will swatch this for you. I kept the tape on it. I've only used it like once, but I only have 3 of the little holes exposed. But it is very pretty. That is what that looks like there. Wipe my hand off. And then I have some pressed powder highlighters. 2 from ColourPop Soul Body. The Soul Body Shimmering Body Powder. This is in Wildflower Honey. And it is more of a blush lighter, kind of like this one. It is beautiful. It has a beautiful coppery finish to it. And then this was from the Bee collection that they had. And this one is from the Dragonfly collection. And it is called Bronze Hour. And that is what that looks like. Again, a little darker than my normal highlight. But it's very, very pretty. Those are ones that I usually use in the summer. But I wasn't very tan this summer, you guys. I was not. I was not outside very much. And then I have 2 other pressed highlighters. One is the Revolution Batman. I haven't used this in so long, but when I got it, I used the heck out of it. It is beautiful. Really, really pretty. Right there. And then the last one is the Nomad with Sydney Bathers. This is the Balmoral Beach. I have been wearing this a lot lately, and it is so beautiful. I wish they still had this because I would love to recommend it. and it's right there. It is a peachy, kind of a peachy gold. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I put all of those in their little temporary homes so that I had more room. And so now we're going to lip products, and I'm going to talk about bullets and crayons first. So I am bringing in, this is from e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is the Seriously Satin Lip, and this is in the shade Cider. And I got this from Leanna Dalton. And it is a beautiful, warm brown, tan, warm goodness shade. This one I have been using already because it worked really well with some of my warm neutral looks that I was doing. And this is the Huda matte lipstick in the shade Game Night. And it is a matte brown. It is a very, very matte brown. But it's a little bit of a cooler brown. So what I do with this is I put this on the outside of my lips, like around the outer edges of my lips. And then I wear this in the middle of my lips. And this is Dominique Cosmetics, and it is in the shade Pretty Natural. Yeah, Pretty Natural. And it is just a neutral, light neutral lip right there. But man, that makes the most beautiful ombre lip. I love it so much. I have the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Bullet Lipstick. This is absolutely beautiful. And you know, this is a very versatile. I can wear this with cool looks. I can wear it with warm looks. And this is what it looks like. And I got this from my friend Laura, the Bargain Hunter. And you guys, this right here, that is the shade that I used to wear all the time. I had several lipsticks, but they all looked like that. I do love just a plain neutral lip that is versatile, that you can wear with different things. I have a few crayons here, crayons and like sticks. This is the Muppets. This was Fozzie. What's it called? Warm Up Guy. This is a ColourPop glowing lip, and I love the glowing lip formulas. They're very emollient. They don't have a ton of pigment to them. I'm gonna put it on now. They don't have a ton of pigment to them, but they are very moisturizing, and I love them. I have only one other shade, I think, of those. I have the NARS Velvet Matte Lip in the shade Good Times. This is another warm, beautiful, right there. This is such a nice formula. It is very matte, but it is not drying. I have the 24/7 Maybelline 24/7 ink crayon. These are some of my favorite lipsticks. If you're not new here, you know that my holy grail lipstick is a 24/7 ink crayon. But this one is in the shade Drive the Future. And I haven't worn this a lot because of how dark it is. But oh my gosh, it is such a beautiful, beautiful fall lip. I need to wear these shades more because I love them when I wear them. But when I'm looking at my lipsticks, I always do the same thing, which is this one right here, which is my holy grail lip ink crayon. And that is Trust Your Gut. Again, a beautiful neutral lip. Love. And then finally, the last like crayon bullet stick type of lipstick that we have is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip. This is in the shade Rosy Brown. And again, just absolutely beautiful for fall. Look at that right there. And man, the moisture that these give my lips, love. Absolutely love them. Now we're moving on to liquid lipsticks, and I have quite a few here. But I love them all. I really do. The first one is from Huda, and it is the shade Boss, B-A-W-S, B-A-W-S-E, Boss, and it's very dark and very vampy, and it's great for October. So this is what that looks like. I freaking love this lipstick so much. I rarely wear it because of how dark it is, but I love it. This is the NYX Liquid Lingerie XXL, and it is in the shade Busted, and this is one that I would wear with a cool look. A burgundy or a berry It is beautiful. Beautiful. I got this free as a gift with purchase from Ulta because this is not something that I would have probably not searched for. I loved, I should say loved because they've been discontinued, the NYX liquid suede liquid lipsticks. Those were my holy grail forever, way before I had my channel. There's one called Soft Spoken that I don't know, repurchased several times, and just finished 2 of them this year actually. But I'm really happy that I received it, gift with purchase, because it is beautiful. I love it. I've worn it a couple of times. It's a very comfortable matte formula. And then we have the Makeup Forever Matte in Rouge Artist. And it is a very beautiful brown. Again, this formula is so nice. I believe I got this from an Ipsy bag. But it's very, very nice, warm formula. We have the Meet Matte Hues from the Balm. I didn't realize until now how terrible my nails look. They need painted badly. Meet Matte Hues from the Balm. Again, this is another one that you can wear with cool looks or berry looks or any of those. This one's almost gone. This is my oldest liquid lipstick. It is so pretty. And I really like the mintiness of this. And then I have one more, and this is from Give Me Glow. Within the last 4 or 5 months, I was on Give Me Glow's website, and they had some of their liquid lips and their lip liners for $3, and I picked this up. Every time I wear this, I get so many compliments. This is in the shade Wicked. I have a lip liner that matches it, and it is perfect for Halloween, for October, for cool neutral. I wore it with a cool purple look, and it is beautiful. I'm so happy that I bought this because I almost didn't. It was in and out of my cart 3 or 4 times. It is beautiful. Okay, now we're moving on to the eyeshadow palettes. This is my favorite part, although I do love blushes. I do love blushes and highlighters. But eyeshadow palettes, that's where my heart is. I have 18 of them here. But like I said before, 3 months, and I like variety. There are some repeating color stories in here, but formula-wise, you know, they're all different formulas, and it just depends on what I want to reach for that day. So I'm going to start with some small ones and go bigger. And this is the Bella Pierre Brown Eyed Girl. I recently overhauled this palette. I took this glitter out and this shimmer out and put in, these are ColourPop shadows that I frankened and put in here. And this is such a beautiful palette. I love this palette since I redid it, and I am so excited to continue using it. So there's that. We have the Revolution Batman palette. I only have a few palettes from Revolution. This is one of the ones that I do absolutely love. This is what it looks like, very warm, and this is a great, great formula. I know that Revolution is hit or miss. This is a really great formula. I really love that palette. Next we have the Scooby-Doo Creeps and Craws, and this is mostly for kind of like packaging, because Scooby-Doo, Halloween, duh. But I love jewel tones in the fall as well. And this is a beautiful palette. I do have to use this as a companion palette because it is, I don't feel like I can do a complete look with this palette. I am swatching some of these shades for you because Glam Light Shimmers are so amazing. And I swatched this one and this one. But yes, I do have another palette, at least one other palette in here with the jewel tones. And I just think jewel tones in the fall is perfection. You don't always have to do warm neutrals. Although the majority of these are warm neutral, you don't have to. You don't have to. There's all kinds of different color stories that you can use in the fall. Case in point, the Wicked Widow Beauty Palette. I got this in an Ice Cream Beauty box. And Graveyard Smash is the name of it. This formula is so good. I wasn't sure about it because this color story to me was kind of all over the place. Although it does kind of scream Halloween, the formula is beautiful. And this green shadow right here, you guys, it is stunning. Look at that. It's got a little shifty shift to it. I'll do the purple too for you. There's the purple. It has a shifty shift to it. I was pleasantly surprised with this palette and definitely decided to keep it. This next palette to me is very soft. It is a very soft, very pretty, warm neutral palette, or just neutral palette, because some of the shades tend to go a little cooler. And this is the Nomad Toscano palette. I got this from Erica Conger, and it is so beautiful. I had another palette in here, the Hip Dot Witchy Warms, which I love, but the color stores were very similar to each other, and I really like the formula on this one a little better, and so I put this one in here instead of the other one because I have a ton of warm neutral in here, guys. But that is such a beautiful palette, and I was so tickled when Erica sent me this. She decluttered it, asked me if I wanted it. I was like, absolutely. We have the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. I wore this the other day and then decided to pull it for fall because I really loved the look that I did with it. And again, these warm neutrals, but you just do have these cooler shades over here. We have the green, and this green shimmer is beautiful. It is in the shade Flow. It's a very light, but it's so pretty on the lid, especially when you mix it with these other shades. The next palette, actually the next two palettes, came from my friend Ash, from the channel Makeup and Chaos. This is Oh Poppy from Bee Bella Cosmetics, and I've only used it a couple of times, but it is a really nice formula. I do really like the Bee Bella. This is the only one I have left. I have decluttered the other ones, but not because they weren't good. It's just because their color stories were so represented in my collection, and those were the ones that I used the least. But very pretty oranges, very pretty browns, and these shimmers are so nice. Now, this shimmer right here, to me, is the best thing in the whole palette. It is such a pretty brown copper. It is gorgeous. I love it. Very, very pretty. And like I said, Ash gave me this one as well. This is the Pinky Rose Sunflower palette. It is so pretty, and I have a special place in my heart for sunflowers. My dad's favorite flower was a sunflower. He had sunflowers, and he piddled around in his sunflower garden all the time. He loved them, so they've become very special to me as well. And this is such a beautiful palette. I mean, you have the warm neutrals, but you also have these cool tone greeny teal shades, and I just think that they all look very well together. I don't understand the purple in here, and I probably would not use the purple in this palette, but all the other ones are just so beautiful. Next up, a very new palette in my collection. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Bijou Brilliance Jeweled Temptation. My bestie, Dina, found this at TJ Maxx and asked me if I wanted it, and I said yes. It was $16. She got it for $16, and then she wouldn't let me pay her for it. So again, warm neutrals in here, but we also have these jewel tones over here on the side, plus a couple of other blushes if I wanted to use those. But it is a very pretty palette. Now, the textures of the shimmers are different to me. They are not glitters, they are shimmers. But you can feel them. Like you feel the little bit of grit to them, and that's kind of to me. But they smooth out very nicely. This purple right here is definitely a special shade, because when I am looking at it, I see green. but it is purple. It is beautiful. So that's definitely a special shade. And I have not used that yet at all. So I'm really looking forward to using that and seeing what I think of it. I had to get another wipe out because my wipe is filthy. And next up is the BH Cosmetics Solar Flare Palette. This is one of their baked formulas. The BH baked formula is so amazing. I have several of the baked formula palettes, and I wish I could buy them all. But I found a couple on Mercari. And so many beautiful warms, but also this purple here is so pretty. Now, if I was going to use purple, I probably wouldn't delve into that palette, but it is a very pretty palette. We're going to swatch this one right here because it is also very beautiful. They're all beautiful. And so far, there it is right there. And so far, the palette has not degraded at all. I know sometimes these baked formula shimmers do not hold their quality, you know, because they are old. These are old shadows. This is like 4 years old, at least. I'm gonna swatch this magnetic too, because it is very, very pretty. It is like a gray brown. It's very pretty. The next palette is from Melt. It is the Rust palette. I got this in a mystery box and was so excited because this is my color story all day long. I love these warm neutrals, as you can see in my other palettes that I have pulled. Very beautiful warm neutrals. And the shade called Redox is just so stunning. I do have an upcoming collab using this palette in November, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I have the Ace Beauté Classical Paradise. This is such an amazing fall palette because, as my friend Ash says, this is the apple palette. It looks like fall apples. All of the apples are represented here. I really love this palette. I've only used it a few times, but it is such a great palette. They are rebranding now, so I don't know why they're rebranding or what they're doing, what they're coming out with, but Ace Beauté is definitely a brand that I love. And while we're at it, we'll talk about another Ace Beauté palette. This is the Mystic Romance. This is the newest palette to my collection. I got this from my friend Charlie from Sea Nut Butter Beauty. I mentioned her before. And this is what this looks like. And it is so pretty. And I think it's a perfect fall palette. Absolutely perfect. And Ace Beauté shimmers are so beautiful. I'm going to swatch a couple of these. This one especially, look at that. It has a little bit of a flip to it, it looks like. But I have not used this palette yet, but I am very much looking forward to it because it is so, so pretty. And now we have another palette that has the dark berries, the dark wines, and the things that I really love for fall. This is the Huda Naughty Nude. I got this from Leanna, and that is what it looks like. This is such a beautiful, you could create the most beautiful moody looks with this. You can also go very light neutral, but you can go deep and dark and sultry, and such a beautiful, beautiful palette for fall. This shade down here called Provocative, that one right there. It is so pretty. You think it's going to be darker than what it actually is because it is one of those swirled shades, but that is what it looks like. It's so pretty. And then we have this, it's called Irresistible. It is a pink shade, and it is beautiful also. It's like a pinky brown. And even that shade looks cooler in the pan than what it does on the swatch. So pretty. Next up, I have the Mirage palette from Alter Ego. This is the dupe of the Huda Empowered. And I've mentioned this before. I bought the Huda Empowered, and then I returned it because I didn't like it. And then I had the opportunity to get this in PR from Alter Ego, and I honestly like this palette better than the Empowered. I felt like it was more versatile as far as the formula. When I had the Empowered palette, I did 3 looks with that, and they all looked exactly the same. And I used different shades. And while there are some very similar shades, these are very similar. I really prefer this one. I don't know, but it is such a beautiful, beautiful palette. Next up, also given to me by my friend Ash from Makeup and Chaos, I have the Nomad Haunted Europe. Ash bought me this for my birthday 2 years ago. We did a collab where I used this half of the palette and they used this half of the palette. And I freaking love the look that I did with this. It was so dark and like spooky and moody, and I loved it. It was great. If I have the picture of it, I'll put it up there. But very, very nice. And I love this purple shade in the middle. This is probably my favorite shade in this. And it's not really coming off as purple, but it is a beautiful, not really, it's kind of a shimmer, but it's not super shimmery. I don't know. I just love that shade. I think it's a beautiful shade. Let's do this pink one. There's the pink shade. It looks more of a red on camera. But I do tend to gravitate toward this side of the palette just because I'm not really much into greens and like yellow golds, but the formula is there. It is Nomad's beautiful formula, and I do love that palette. And then I have two more. I'm hoping that this stays underneath an hour. I'm hoping. No promises. I have the ColourPop Smokin' Hot. I've had this over a year. I've never used it. I have never used this palette. It still has the screensaver on it. I've never used it. And these are beautiful. I should have busted this out in the summer to fall shades. And I can't wait to use this. I always think about it. I saw Jennifer from Jennifer Loves Makeup. I think I was watching a live on TikTok and she used this palette. I'm pretty sure this is the palette she used. And I told her, I said, I need to bust that palette out, and I didn't. So I am now. And the last palette that I am bringing in for fall is the ColourPop It's a Mood. I have used this palette, but not a whole lot. This is what it looks like. These beautiful jewel tones. When I was thinking jewel tones, this is the palette that I was thinking, because this palette is such an amazing formula. Some of these, this I believe is a glitter, but some of these, like this shade right here and this shade right here, I'm pretty sure are the Super Shock formula. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not completely sure, but I'm pretty sure. I think this is a glitter as well. But, you know, you can just go down the line and make a complete look with that. I have the Blend Bunny Dollhouse, and that's one of the things that I loved doing with that, was going down the line and making a look with that. And it is so pretty. I'm really happy. I did pick this up on sale. I picked the Smokin' Hot up also on sale. To me, the time to shop ColourPop is when they have their 30% off site-wide. Best time. Or when I bought the Smokin' Hot, they had 2 palettes for $32. 32 or 38, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was 32, but I bought this one and the Aurora Struck, which I also have not. I think I used it once. I think I've used a couple of shades once. Let me know down in the comments what you have pulled for fall. Tell me your palettes, your blushes, your lippies. If you have pulled anything in new for the fall months, let me know. Let's start a conversation. You guys, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up down there. I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you want to help out my channel, hit the subscribe button. It helps the YouTube algorithm get my videos out to more people. And in the meantime, you can check out this video right here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. And until next time, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.